Having a professional photographer take images of your pet can lead to amazing works of art to hang on your wall, but choose the wrong photographer and you may end up with nothing better than you could take yourself with your smartphone. Here's how to avoid that fate.
Bonnie, when it comes to actually finding a photographer, we've obviously got two wonderful photographers here, Kathy and Darlene, but you know, you don't travel across the world everywhere, although maybe you'll be open for a flight if someone wants to hit you up. But how can people go about finding a great pet photographer?
I think the first and foremost thing to look for is that the photographer has a website. And I'm sure somebody will push back on me about this, but I don't think that a photographer who's taking themselves seriously as a professional. And so make sure that they have a website. Once you get on that website, look for consistency in their portfolio, because with the digital age, pretty much anyone can take 1,000 photos and wind up with 1 or 2 good ones, but we don't want those 1 or 2 good ones, right? We want to make sure that we're going to get a consistent work from these people. So look through their entire portfolio and make sure that it's measuring up to the type of photos that you want, that their style matches yours. That kind of, we were talking about, like if they're studio or outdoors, make sure that what they're doing is matching what you're wanting. Obviously, like we said, look for a specialist if that's important to you. Some people are a little, they've got really easygoing dogs. Maybe that's not as important, but I really think that people in the pet photography world should be looking for a specialist. Read the reviews that they have, make sure they have reviews, because that means they've actually been around long enough. And if there's bad ones, read them all and make sure that the bad reviews are even relevant to what you're wanting, or they even make sense at all. Because a lot of us get, weird reviews that people who have never even seen us before. So make sure you read those, and then make sure that you're getting a professional response from them. So if you're reaching out, make sure that they are professional in their response. They are sending you information about what to expect, the timeline that you should be looking at, probably a contract they're going to send you. Obviously, you need to know at least a general price range that you're going to be spending, how to prepare for the session. All these things should be given to you by the photographer. That kind of signals that they're a true professional and they're going to take you seriously, take themselves seriously, and you're going to get a good outcome out of it. And then also with pet photography, be willing to travel maybe a little bit, because like you were saying at the beginning, this is a niche in photography and there aren't a whole lot of pet photographers out there yet. So be willing to spread your net a little bit wider. You might have to go a little farther than you would certainly for maybe a family session or something to find the perfect pet photographer for you.
One thing I want to mention that Bonnie just mentioned is, when looking for a pet photographer, look at their portfolio, look at their images, because one situation I had someone contact me and they were looking for pictures of their dog with a white background in a studio. And I thought to myself, I do not have one studio image on my entire website. And I am happy to refer out to someone else when that happens. But if you're looking for a pet photographer, really kind of dive into their website, see what they're all about, see what their story is too. And if you can kind of connect to who they are. I know my story on my website kind of talks about my heart dog and going through grief and loss and how she inspired me to run my business. And I find a lot of people reaching out about that and connecting in that way, having a similar situation. And one thing we always want to do is get photos sooner rather than later. So if it pops in your mind ever the thought of, maybe I want to someday do photos with my dog or pet, cat as they get older, don't think that you want to do it down the road. Pick up the phone, do it that day, because we never know. Our pets clearly aren't here with us long enough, and there's never enough time.
I would add, ask when you're looking for a photographer, make sure that they are insured. If something goes wrong, you want all parties covered.
But to find out everything you need to know about getting a professional pet photography session you'll love, you need to check out our full conversation, which you can find in this video linked on screen. So tap on that video, I'll see you there. And until the next time, I'm veterinarian Dr. Alex. This is Our Pets Health, because they're family.